Hi guys, today we're making beans and plantain. Here I gathered all the ingredients that I'm going to use. I have dry fish, the beans is right there. I've got Maggi cubes. I have salt, parsley leaves, paprika pepper, onions, oregano leaves, black pepper, chicken bouillon, curry powder, and red oil. I also have crayfish here in the little cup, and then red onions. So first of all, I went ahead and prepared the ingredients. I cut up my plantain, I cut up the onions. Oh, prior to this, I actually washed the beans and I started boiling the beans just with plain water. And I cut up onions and plantain, and I'm adding all the ingredients in the cup to make it easier when I'm ready to pour them. And I don't have measurement, I just used a little bit of spicy each spice, and I tried not to use too much because I was cooking just a little bit of beans, not much. It wasn't even up to 2 cups of beans. See, now I'm breaking the dry fish, deboning the dry fish. I removed some of the back, but I also left most of them. Some of the back had the bones sticking on them, and it's hard to pick them one by one. I poured it into my plate, and the reason why is because I like to wash it with hot water before I use it. Now the beans is still boiling. I did wash the beans again after boiling it for like 5 minutes. I put cold water, I rinsed it really well, and then I started boiling it again with just plain water. I like to fry my onions. As you can see, I am pouring the oil in a pan, and the reason why I'm doing this is to fry the onions before pouring them into the beans. So I'm just getting that ready so that when the beans is cooked and soft enough, I will pour everything and mix together. Right now, I'm done with the frying. I did break the cubes into little pieces, and that prevents people from chewing a chunk when you're eating the food. It doesn't taste great. I am pouring the wrapped plantain into the beans now without adding any other ingredients at this point. I want the beans to cook really well and soft before adding any ingredient. When the beans is a little bit softer, I poured in the crayfish, and the crayfish isn't gonna affect the beans from getting soft quickly as it would without it being in there. As you can see, the beans is soft. So, but we didn't have enough water in the pot, so I poured a little more water in there, and that will prevent it from burning. Now I am pouring in all the fried onions and the other ingredients into the beans, and I'm going to add a little bit of more water at the end. I remembered that I had some mint leaves, and at the last minute I decided to add some dry mint leaves, and I'm gonna go ahead and cook it a little bit more. Now that it's almost done, this dry fish, I've used it before, it's really soft. The one we had previously, it did take time to cook very well. So this one usually doesn't take time, and if you pour it in too early, it's all gonna break into pieces and you won't be able to see it when you're done cooking. So while the beans was on low heat, at this point it was almost done. I prepared the plate to serve it, and while I'm doing that, I'm also preparing the custard. I'm just gonna pour some custard out, and I'm also boiling some hot water at this point. Yeah, you have to use a little bit of cold water to mix the custard first. I added just as little as possible because I'm also using a liquid milk. If I was using powdered milk, I would have added a little bit more water. Alright, here is the beans. It's all done and ready to be served. I wanted to make sure it had enough salt before serving it, and it did. So here it turned out really good. Look at the color. Now we're starting to make the custard with hot water. Guys, be careful when pouring the water. Give it time. Don't pour too much at a time. That way, we're not pouring too much water and making it too liquidy. See, I like this texture, and especially because I'm using the liquid milk again. If I was using powdered milk, I would have added more hot water at this point. Guys, it's really cold here in Minnesota, so my honey is almost frozen, so I had to use something to scoop it out. I have a bunch of them like that, and I didn't want to throw them out. So I'm trying to use them, at least a couple of them before throwing the containers out. I feel like I've wasted too many because it just clumps up every time. So now I'm adding the liquid milk. I'm only going to add a little bit at this point. And here I am serving the custard in the little cup. And my kids are picky eaters, they don't eat a lot at a time. And that's why I made just a little bit of beans and that tiny amount of custard. And I'm sure they're not even going to finish it, but let's see what happens. So I did went ahead and top it up with some milk, liquid milk again. Here we go, some more milk. And here is what it looks like at, at last. It looks really good. And it was really delicious, you all.